So branding. Branding. Not the easiest, but incredibly important for any business. Branding is basically the lifeblood of any company. And actually, it's not the easiest to get right. Some of the major brands currently still don't have their branding to the T. And actually, it's a process that does take time. But it's also something that we can't ignore if we're starting our own business. And through my own personal journey experience with building A+CE, I've actually realized that building a brand isn't easy and it's actually quite fuzzy to begin with. So I thought I'd make this video and hopefully be able to help you in your journey, but also actually to remind myself of how to constantly create an effective brand identity. But before we jump into the nitty-gritty, I think it's important to understand why having a brand identity is so important. And the main reason why is actually our brand is crucial to help communicate with our customers exactly what we're on about. It also allows us to stand out in the crowd compared to the other brands and our competitors. As you know now, a lot of and most niches are pretty saturated. And actually marketing, although is easier nowadays with technology, it's actually harder to have effective marketing. And really a good brand identity helps you form a connection with your customers so that you can then build trust from that. And really the end point is to create raving fans for your company and not just solely customers. So really in terms of brand identity, there are only 3 things I would say that's major in terms of creating that voice. And first of all, your logo design. It's basically the face of your brand and it's what people focus on and look to when they see your brand wherever they go, whether it's on your products, whether it's on your website, whether it's on your social media. So make it memorable, distinctive, and instantly recognizable. Now I know we're all different, but me personally, I believe that as human beings, our psychology is trying to conserve energy and trying to conserve the amount of calories burnt. So we really don't want to waste so much time thinking and looking at things. And I would probably say to keep your logo as simple as possible, but also as direct as possible towards your brand. But I also think that obviously it is down to your company and your brand, so then you obviously need to design your logo to fit that. The second major part is your color palette. It's important to have a think about the colors that actually speak through your brand and the colors that match with your brand identity. So for example, if your brand identity is looking for more fun and more out there sort of voice, then you might choose colors that are more bold and more electric. Versus if you're a brand who's a little bit more mute and a bit more toned down, then you might want to go for sort of toned down color and color palette. So make sure you choose colors that match with your brand's personality and allow to then communicate with your target audience. And finally, your brand voice, or rather your values and your story. Same with colors, your voice and your choice of tone and your words are very important. And it's important to choose the right words and tone to help communicate your message. And honestly, every brand has a story to tell. So your brand values and your brand voice and story allows your audience and your clients and your customers and your raving fans to understand truly who you are and what you represent. In this day and age now, customers actually prefer honesty and prefer transparency, and they really want to know what is going on behind the curtains. They like to know that the person who's built this company is also a human being that they can relate to. So it's important that you choose words and a voice that allows you to communicate that. This as a result then builds a really strong connection with your customers. So now that we've talked about the fundamentals, I think it might be useful to actually run through a process of how you'd be able to build a brand identity. So let's say you're starting an eco-friendly skincare line. Understanding that your brand is all about natural ingredients and sustainability will help communicate to eco-conscious customers. So your brand would be an eco-friendly skincare line and your audience would be eco-friendly customers. So in terms of your visual identity, you'd probably look for things that are more green, look for things that are more nature dependent. Things like earthy tones and leafy motifs. These sorts of visuals will then automatically connect your customer's brain into thinking, oh, this brand is all about being eco-friendly, all about being green, all about being natural and the nature and also sustainability. And maybe for your brand voice, you then want to choose a more warm tone as well as more informative tone of voice and use of language. So maybe you might say, welcome to Nature Glow, where we're all about embracing the beauty of nature while pampering your skin. We're your partners in your journey to healthy, glowing skin that's as radiant as a sunrise over a lush forest. Or maybe for a social media post, you might go for a morning routine with our natural cleanser, kissed by the goodness of botanicals. Just like nature refreshes itself after the rain, let our cleanser refresh your skin for the day ahead. And then of course, finally, share your story. So for example, share a story of how your passion for clean, sustainable skincare was born, and really how you want to use that to make a positive impact in this world. Make sure that you use the same tone of voice and also direct your story to your target audience. So yeah, there you have it. Just a quick guide of how you can get started with creating your brand identity. Remember, it's not an overnight thing. It's actually something that does require iterating over time. And again, a lot of big brands out there still don't have their brand identity to the T, but you you do get better at it the longer you are in the game. So point is, don't feel bad if you haven't gotten it right yet. You actually do need some time, and don't beat yourself up for it. Just constantly iterate and iterate and iterate as you go. A lot of our business is about trial and error, and so with brand identity it works just the same. So yeah, I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to know more about how to create your own company. If you also want to follow my journey with ACE, do subscribe and watch my vlogs. Otherwise, I also do a lot of deep dive videos like this to talk about things about creating a business and what happens in between. But until next time, stay creative and stay true to your brand. Bye!